No, they can't, but we know God can. And so my daughter-in-law called me. They was yesterday kind of upset because she's an only child. And her mom was everything to her. And so I told her, praying for her. Her mother would be strengthened. I told her that it's whatever God's will is, we have to accept it. And so please pray. Her name is Laura. She needs prayer because she's not ready for anything that may happen to her mom. But, like I told her, the doctors didn't have to tell you what they have to tell you. But God is in control. And so just want y'all to keep her in prayer. So tonight, my lesson is, do you have joy after all you've been through? That's what the thing about it. Because, sometimes people don't have joy after they've gone through stuff. People don't feel like there's nothing to be happy about when they have gone through stuff. And so, when God gave me that title, when he gave me David in Psalms 40. But I'm going to go the way the Lord leads me, okay? So it says 40 and 1 says, I waited in the Amplified. I waited patiently and expectantly for the Lord. So here's David saying, I'm waiting, I'm expecting you. And a lot of times when we're going through situations in our lives, we need to be patient waiting on God. Because we know God can eradicate anything right away. He can. But then sometimes God wants us to wait on him and expect him to do great things for us. And so David is somebody that always is going through something. But what I love about it is, and David was a ready writer for God. He was a psalmist in some sense. He even played what was that thing, the harp. When King Saul was being tormented, David would play the harp. Actually, he would call for David to come. Mind you, he wanted to kill him because he messed up. But here, David always was going through something. And so David, to me, is like an example for us that go through stuff. And David was like saying to us in this chapter here, I waited patiently and expectantly for the Lord. I waited in expectation because I know that God was going to hear my cry. God was going to take care of me. And that's what we need to know. Is when you go through something, but do you have joy after you have been through some stuff? And here David is a good example. Verse 2, he said, I'm sorry, I'm going to finish one. I waited patiently and expectantly for the Lord, and he inclined to me and heard my cry. So while David was waiting on God, the Lord inclined his ear. The Lord was listening. So I want to say to us that, do you know God is listening to us? God hears us. Sometimes we feel like God is not there. And it's not in a feeling. It's in a knowing that God is with you. Because see, your feelings, a lot of people, well, let me just say, a lot of people get their feelings. And it don't be God, it be you feeling bad. It's you feel like God not there, but yet the Bible tells us, he said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. I'll be with you to the ends of the earth. Some people skip that passage because they're going through. But I love my husband. He always says, God will not leave you comfortless. No matter what you're going through, God is there. It's just that we can't see him because he said he is a spirit. And they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So we got to know. We got to take God at his word that he's with us. And we got to wait on it. Sometimes there's things that we desire of God, and guess what? He immediately does it. I noticed that when we get saved, right, God does things quickly for us to show us that he's there, to show us that he loves us, to show us that, you ask, here it is. But then the time comes when you have to trust him, even if you don't see him, even if you don't know when it's going to happen, you're going to have to trust God. Remember, he said we walk by faith and not by sight. And so a lot of people in today's society is looking at their situation. Instead of them walking by faith, they're looking at the problem and saying, God, when are you going to get it done? But I just heard a watch pot never boils. When you cooking something, you got the water on, you keep cooking to that pot. You ain't doing nothing. But after a while, it starts boiling. But if you pay attention to it, it just seems like it's never going to fall.